working. Somebody should always be on duty in office in case the telephone rings.
In case the telephone rings. So how many did we have?
Yeah.
How many of them?
4.
We had the 4. Okay, we can add on another one. So we are still looking at in case. And we are saying every vehicle, I hope you are writing. Are you writing?
Yes, teacher.
Mutes, are you getting me very well?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Regina, are you getting me? Just a moment. Then there was something here. They don't see.
Hello, people. Can you hear us?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
We are here.
Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The video mode up. Aux input mode up.
Can you talk?
We can hear.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, now we
We
can.
were hearing you even before. Yeah.
Yes, we can hear, and we were hearing before.
But I wasn't hearing you. That was the reason why. Okay, now we can continue.
Yes.
Okay, we are now saying that we wanted to add on some examples. How many people were not there last time? Just mention your name.
Me, teacher.
And
Me, teacher.
who is you?
Me, teacher.
You get me so and so. So I see Reina, I see Lisa, I see Leila, I see Benita. Okay, you are most welcome.
Me.
Last time we talked about expressions of, and we talked about expressions of purpose using, the first one was we used so that, and we said so that, and being used at the same time to mean in order that, not so? Yes, so we used so that, and we looked at some examples use constructing sentences using so that. We also said so that means in order that, and now we are looking at expressions two, looking at using in case. We gave some examples from some of your friends, but we are adding on. Yolanda, do you have something to say? Okay, we can continue. So the sentence is, every vehicle is provided with a spare part, a spare wheel. Every vehicle is provided with a spare part. I'll put a full stop, and then we shall say, perhaps there will be perhaps there will be puncture. So, in these sentences, where you have this perhaps to mean a probability that possibly there will be a puncture. So why should somebody carry, or why should all vehicles be provided with a spare part? Now you have that spare part of a wheel. We can even call it a spare wheel, not part. This one here, I'm sorry, we call it a spare wheel. The reason is that if one of the wheels gets a puncture, then they should be able to use the spare wheel. Now, we want to use in case in this sentence. Can we therefore construct a sentence, join the two sentences together using in case? Yes, Paul?
Every vehicle is provided with a spare part in case of a puncture.
In the case of, when you say in the case of, you are wrong. In the case of makes it wrong. Hannah?
Every vehicle is provided with a spare wheel in case there is a puncture.
Why do you say there is? Why do you say there is? Now, when we have such sentences as this one, there is, you have RE at the end, and there is IS next. So just put the two together and say, in case there is, don't say there is. That is poor English. We normally say there is. So all words, even when you have this word, there are. They never say there are. Just say there are. Is that very clear?
Yes.
That is English language.
Yes, teacher.
Yolanda still has some question. Can you ask?
Teacher, where you said that when there's there is and you combine them together, do you write it as?
No, when you are writing,
do you write it like
words.
how you?
When you are writing, they are two words. Is that very clear?
Word.
When you are speaking,
yes,
you speak as if it is one word. There is. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So what was the question? I mean, the sentence she gave us after the combination of the two. Can you?
Every vehicle is provided with a spare wheel in case there is a puncture.
In case there is what? A puncture. So this indicator is used in two ways. Number one, in present. And then number two, in past tense. Past tense. So how do we know that a sentence is going to be constructed, or the two parts of the sentences are going to be constructed using past tense? We said the sentence here will give us the tense in which we are supposed to write it. So in this one here, we have is. Much as we have provided, is controlled with what? Provided. So that's why we say every vehicle is provided with in case there is. And then in the second sentence, we have this wheel here will tell us the tense in which we write the sentence. The next one, and hopefully the last, we go to another part. The Roman soldiers always spent the night in the camp. The Roman soldiers have the Roman soldiers always spend The Roman soldiers always spent the night in camps. The night in who is that one who has to mute? In camps, full stop. Perhaps they would be attacked. Perhaps they would be attacked.
People, please mute.
Okay.
It was me.
Can you mute, please?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yours. We don't want to hear them.
Teacher,
Okay.
perhaps there would be what?
Perhaps they would be attacked. Attacked. Yes, louder, such that they hear.
My goodness.
The Roman soldiers always spend
They would be attacked. Good. The test now is, okay, did you hear what he said? I have some 2 students before me here. Did you hear what he said?
No.
No, teacher.
The others didn't. Can he repeat? Listen.
Yes.
They would. Have you heard that?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said the Roman soldiers always spent, you remove the word da. Always spent, okay, that is there. The nights in camps, in case they would be attacked. So in this case here, when we are using in case, we are just going to remove perhaps, and then remove the what? The full stop.
Yes.
And the sentence will remain. Are we together now?
Yes. Yes.
Is it okay for you?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Now we are going to expressions.
Yes, teacher.
3. Do I have any question?
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Teacher, like, isn't it okay if someone says the Roman soldiers always spent the night in camps in case they were to be attacked?
No. Because this word here you are using, that one there is the past tense of are. Is that very clear? And yet we want to maintain.
Yes.
Yes, Melanie?
Yes.
I'm waiting for to hear from Melanie. Do you have something to say? I see the hand up. Okay. The hand is stuck and nobody is saying anything. Can we go now to expressions of purpose? 3. We are going to look at expressions of purpose. 3. The third time now. We said the expressions of purpose. The first one was to use so that. And we combined so that with in order that. Then the second one was using in case. Now we want to see this other one here. Let's give an example. We don't have a specific one. Let's give an example. The people climbed trees. The people climbed trees so that they could see the president as he passed. We shall write it. The people climbed trees so that they could see the president
Is teacher present for everyone?
as he passed. Come again.
Excuse me, teacher.
We are saying let us remove the people. I said some people, sorry. Let us say some people.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please, Wendy.
Teacher, like in the sentence, you said some people claim the tree so that like there's a repetition of that.
Okay, thank you. You are very attentive now, I can see. So that they could see the president as he passed. That's what we have. Now, this one here can be shortened. We shall call that one A. Now, let's go to B. This very one can be shortened to some people climb the trees. Some people climb trees in order to see.
Can you know?
In order to see the president as he passed. Full stop. As he passed. Okay, what is now the difference between A and B? What's the difference between A and B? If you can get it. Yes?
In the first sentence, you say some people climb the trees so that they could see the president as he was. And in the second sentence, there is no could.
So if you look at this, the first one has could. Is that very clear? The first one has could.
Yes.
The second one does not have what? Could. Could. Here we have used so that they could. And here we are saying in order to see. Now, when we are looking at so that in the first one, we said it is the same as using in order that. Do you get that? Yes. Now, in the third one, we are not using in order that. We are not using this that here. We have removed it. That is the difference now. Let us go to another one. The president spoke to them on the radio. The president spoke to them on the radio. The president spoke to them on the radio. The president spoke to them on the radio so that they would understand. So that they would understand so that they would understand what the government was doing. So that they would understand what the government was doing. The president spoke to them on the radio so that they would understand what the government was doing. Now, in that sentence there, before we go very far, who can tell us that expression of purpose in that sentence? Who can mention the expression of purpose in that sentence? What makes the sentence become an expression of purpose? Chiravo?
The sentence has so that which goes with would or could.
In the particular sentence, that's what I want. The president spoke to them on the radio so that they would understand. If we were to underline, I would like to know which words would we underline there to show expression of purpose.
We
Repeat.
could underline so that and could and would.
Why only and would? Another one? Are you trying again? Alicia, can you try?
Can I try?
Yes, do please.
We underline so that, would, and was doing.
Thank you for the attempt. Another one? Paul? Paul? Mutesi? Okay? Yolanda?
You underline so that spoke and would.
Really? Expressions of purpose. The last one is Lukwago.
We underline
We
underline would.
Now, that means you have not yet picked or understood what we mean by expressions of purpose. Yes. Listen to this one.
We have to underline so that they and would.
So that they would, but if you want to contribute and they hear you very well, come and sit here, near here, okay? So we are saying the expression so that or expressions of purpose, you have not yet picked them very well. If somebody asked you, I started by saying that when we look at expressions of purpose, we are going to look at the reason why something is done. That's what we mean by expressions of purpose. What are those reasons? Why, in this case, does the president, or why did the president speak to the people on radio? Now, can you answer that? Why did the president speak to people on radio?
Know what the government
They would understand.
So that they would understand what the government was doing.
Exactly. So the major part here is understanding. Is that very clear?
Yes.
So that's why if we are to
Yes, teacher.
yes, if we are to look at expressions of purpose, now we are looking at so that they would understand. That's what we call an expression of purpose. Is that very clear?
Purpose. Yes.
So that they would understand. That's what we wanted here. So if we are asking about expressions of purpose, then we are looking at the reason why something is done. We go to the first one. We said some people climbed trees so that they could see the president as he passed. So what would we underline there if we were looking at expressions of purpose? What would we underline?
They could see the president, as he passed.
So we have so that. Can we be organized? Let's get organized, okay? So that they could see the president. Is that very clear? So that they could see the president. Now let's go to this other sentence I've given you. The second sentence now I have given you says, the president talked to them on the radio so that they would understand what the government was doing. Can we shorten it to using in order to? Can we shorten it? We want to shorten it like this other one, which is B, and we see whether it makes meaning. Mutes?
The president spoke to them on the radio in order to understand what the government was doing.
In order to understand. Don't you think that one is now wrong? Does it make sense?
No.
Does it make sense?
No.
Now we are saying that not all sentences where we use in order to can be expressions of purpose. Is that very clear? So if we use in order to in that sentence, it will not be an expression of purpose. I hope you get me. Stacy?
The president spoke to them on radio in order for them to understand what the government was doing.
But we are saying the sentence we should use in order to, not for. Aliyah, somebody with the questioning marks, please just write your name in full. It's okay for you. Then I see Ahumuza Rona, kilometers, I don't know why. Then there is Aisha. Aisha, please put your other name. Very important. Okay. I have Huda. Huda, can you say something? I'm listening.
The president spoke to them on the radio in order.
Okay. Now understand me. Alicia, put down your hand. I would like you to understand me now. We are saying that not all sentences using in order to are expressions of purpose. Is that okay? So yes. Why are they not expressions of purpose? If we look at that particular sentence, the president spoke to them on the radio so that they would understand. We have they, which refers to the people the president talked to. Now, when we change it to the president talked to them in order to understand. So it means, let us ask ourselves, who was supposed to understand? Was it the people or the president? To you.
The people.
The people. The people. But now here the sentence shows that it is ambiguous. We call it ambiguous, not clear. It has double meaning. Either it refers to the people or it refers to the president. And therefore the sentence has no meaning. Is that very clear?
Yes.
We cannot shorten all sentences using in order to. No. Some of them can be shortened, others can remain. Is that okay? Now, let's see. The minister returned home. The minister returned home. I'm giving another one. The minister returned home. We have the returned home in order that the minister returned home in order that he might discuss, in order that he returned home in order that he might, the minister returned home in order that he might discuss, the situation with the president. The situation with the president. So my question is still one. Why did the minister return home? That's the question. And we are saying he returned home because he wanted to discuss the situation with the president. So in order that he might, is the reason why the minister returned home. We want to change this one to shorten it using in order to. Can we now construct the sentence? Can you try? Have you written it down? Can you try? To discuss the situation with the president. Can I hear from Lisa also?
The minister returned home in order to discuss the situation with the president.
In order to discuss the situation with the president. Now, that one is very clear. Is that very clear? That one is very clear.
Yes, teacher.
When you look at in order that, it is very clear. When you look at in order to, it is very clear. So that one can be changed. And therefore, that is expression of purpose 3 using in order to. Okay, let's see this exercise now. Let's see this exercise. We are going to try it together. Let's try it together. Number 1. Mrs. Number 1. Mrs. I don't know the name you can put there. Mrs. But put a man's name. Kevin.
Yes, Kaliebi.
Somebody is
So
saying.
you can't put a man's name. It's
yeah, when you say Mrs.
Feminine.
Can you say Mrs. Sarah?
Mrs. Nachibala.
Why?
Mrs. Nambasa.
No.
Mrs. Nachibala.
Mrs. Sekabu.
Mrs.
Ukwago.
Now.
Sekabu.
Thank you very much.
Why do people say Mrs.
Mrs. Lumba.
Let us see.
Mrs.
You listen to me very attentive. When you say Mrs. Nambasa, first of all, let's understand what does Mrs. mean?
Someone who's married.
A married woman.
A married woman.
Yes.
So we are looking at Mrs. We wanted to see what Mrs. means. So Mrs.
Teacher.
I'm looking it up on the in the dictionary here.
Mrs. Kaliebi.
It means a form of address for a married woman. Now, when you say Mrs. Nambasa, is she married to Nambasa?
No.
No.
That's why you don't need to say
First people
Mrs.
say
Sapphire.
Miss Nambasa.
You
So
say
why
Miss.
did you say?
I want you to understand this. Look at the blackboard if you are there very well. There is this one here. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yes. This one means you are not very sure that person is married or is not married.
Married.
So if you are not very sure of somebody's status, married status, you use MS, Ms. Is that very clear?
Yes.
Then this one, Miss, just like you hear Miss, there is something you are missing. Is that very clear? You
teacher.
So when I see Miss and I'm looking for somebody to persuade to become my lover, this one becomes very simple to approach.
Changa, you're bold.
This one here, Mrs. I have reservations. It means she belongs to somebody.
Someone.
This one here, this one, I'm not very sure. So I have to find out. Is that very clear?
Yes.
So the difference is this one belongs to somebody. This one, you are not very sure of the status. This one is Madam Single. So
Miss Nambasa, Miss Nagadia.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
at times people maintain this, especially on academic transcripts. Even when you are married and you use the title Miss. Is that very clear? Miss Nambasa. Even when you get married, unless you swear in what we call an affidavit, you will not call yourself Mrs. But Mrs. is now known to the people who know you that you are married. But the papers will still continue having this if you use the title. Now, back to our sentence here. We said the minister returned home in order that he, and we said the minister returned home in order to discuss. This one, those ones are okay. Now, what about these ones here? We want to see whether you can have them right. Mrs. Possibly put your father's name, no problem. Rahana, what is it? Rahana, can you ask? I see the hand up. Nothing. Okay.
Continue.
Okay, but the hand is still there. Okay. Mrs. You can put your boyfriend's name if you have one. Left the hairdressers. Left the hairdressers.
Pardon?
Mrs. And I said put your boyfriend's name if you have. If you don't have your father's name, if you have a brother, put your brother's name, no problem. Mrs. Dash left the hairdressers at 5 o'clock. Mine is Mrs. Kaliebi. Left. Mrs. Kaliebi left hairdressers
5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock. so that she could meet her husband outside his office. Outside his office. Outside his office. Okay. Can we use in order to?
Yes. Sarah.
Sarah? Somebody is saying Sarah?
Miss Dumba left the hairdressers at 5 o'clock in order to meet her husband outside his office.
Miss, I said Mrs. Is that okay? Thank you very much. The sentence is okay.
Yeah.
Then we go to the next. What did you write down? Yes? Thank you very much. Number two, the doctor gave her an injection. The doctor gave her an injection. The doctor gave her an injection.
My hand is up.
No, we have already.
Teacher.
We thought you have the answer. Yes, what's the
I have a
problem,
question.
Martin?
Teacher, that part 4. Let's say Mrs. Kaliebi left the hairdressers. Does the apostrophe come after the S or before the R?
After the
I remember
S. No, before the S. Here you put it before the S. Do you see it?
Yes, but okay, I got a bit confused because like the butchers, the
Can we have it now here? We want to eliminate that confusion. Now, what do we mean by hairdressers? If we say hairdressers, and we put
where do you make up from?
If we put this apostrophe, what does it mean? Before S, it means it is one hairdresser. Is that very clear?
Yes.
Amina, it means that it is one hairdresser. Yes. Now, when we say hairdressers and we put the apostrophe after S, it means they are many hairdressers. Yes, you still have the hand up.
Okay, teacher.
Are you satisfied?
Yes, teacher.
Can I know your father's name? Be free to tell me. I want to use that as an example.
Sevagala.
Atim, I see Atim and you tell me Sevagala. No.
No, teacher, that's not me.
I want Atim to tell me the father's name.
Hamza. Mr. Atim Hamza.
He's also called Atim.
Yes, teacher.
Or Atim.
No, teacher, as in our tribe, it's either Atim. Atim is for women. Atim is for men. So him, he's Atim.
Okay. Now, when you say the Atims, is that very clear? Let's take an example. The Atims, like this. That means they are many. The same story goes to Nabisu Saga. That one, we have Nabisu Can you mute, please? Can I mute you all?
Teacher, don't mute.
I'm going to.
Let the person who is unmuted mute Mute, please.
Sheila, mute.
Mute.
Okay.
How damn you, everyone mute.
So we are now here. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Good. We are now here. Do you see Navisusa girls? I think I'll put it very far. That is another part that confuses people. When you say Navisusa girls secondary school, blah, 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 like that. Now, this one here, with the apostrophe after S, it means the school belongs to many girls. But if you say Navisusa girls with the apostrophe after L, it simply means it belongs to one girl. I hope now you get me right. So wherever you find Navisusa girls written like this, that is wrong. If they don't have even the apostrophe and say Navisusa girls like this, it is also wrong. Because it simply means here, Navisusa secondary school belongs to all girls who come there. So it is only for girls. That's why we have this apostrophe. But if we have it after L, then it is one girl. That is why we have those apostrophes at different places. I hope I'm very clear there.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, we were saying teacher. The doctor gave her an injection so that she would not feel any pain. So that she would not feel any pain. The doctor gave her an injection so that...
Should we use hood or could? But did you say hood or could?
Listen, we are saying the doctor gave her an injection so that she would not. In the sentence, we have would. But I said in these sentences, we can either use could or would. Are we there? The doctor gave her an injection so that she would not feel any pain. Can you use in order? I would like to see that person who follows the sentence, the teaching very well. Who can construct that sentence using in order?
The doctor gave her an injection in order not to feel any pain.
Thank you very much. We have to, in order not. So, if it is something that is that cannot be applied there, then we can use the negative form, not. But we have still to include to. It must be there. I hope now Kenya has followed very well. Have you?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
The second one says, the second one, we said, we can say, the doctor gave her an injection in order not to feel any pain. The second one, now the next one. The ship was going at half speed. The ship is here, we are saying, the ship was going at half speed, half with the hyphen, speed. The ship was going at half speed so that it would not arrive. So that it would not arrive. So that it would not arrive at Tema. At Tema, I don't know whether you see Tema very well. Yes. At Tema.
Yes.
Too early. Okay, we are using in order.
Sarah, the ship was going at half speed.
It is Sarah talking, yes?
The ship was going at half speed in order not to arrive at Tema too early.
Yes, thank you. We are saying the ship was going at half speed in order not to arrive at Tema too early. Somebody's hand is still up. What are you saying?
Teacher, how comes where you put the ship was going at half?
How come?
I think she wanted to ask how come there is an apostrophe. I mean,
Where?
a hyphen.
A hyphen, half speed. This is a compound word. Is that okay? It's a compound word. So normally, most of the compound words have.
Why don't you put?
Why don't I put? Can you talk? Please be free and talk. Why don't I put? Oh, are you stuck? Okay. Why did I put half? I mean this.
She was saying, why don't you put the ship was going at a high speed, at a half speed?
No. At half. If we are talking in terms, can you calculate? Do you have speed in terms of plural? For us to
no.
So you cannot at a high speed because you are not going to put it at, a half speed. Then a would mean 1. Then half would mean a half of 1. That is the confusion we would have. So just say at half speed. Is that very clear? Is that very clear?
So teacher, even saying that at a very high speed is wrong.
No, at a very high speed, you know, very half. We are looking at half. If it is a half, you know what half means. Is that very clear? And in this case, half speed is used as one word, half speed. And because it is one word, then it would be very bad for us to include article "a." But at a high speed, it would be okay. You realize it and so forth. But at half speed, I don't know how I can explain it very well to you. Alia?
Excuse me, teacher. For example, I want to say half-sided.
Half-sided?
Yeah.
What do you want me to react to?
I would also include the hyphen.
The hyphen, it's called a hyphen. First of all, if you want to know what a hyphen is, this is what we call a hyphen. Is that very clear? Hyphen, this one, it is this. It is different from this one is a dash. If it is longer than this, it becomes what? A dash. A hyphen is used to, number 1, separate words that cannot fit on one on one line. For example, if you are writing the word, let's take an example, compound. Let's take the example of compound. This word cannot be divided. We don't have this one here, say comp and then owl. So if you are writing and you know the space is not enough, for example, you are writing the word compound and then you come here and then you do like that. This word is not in English. The space is not enough. So what do? Don't just write this word here. But now, like we have the word half, and you want to say sided, then you come this way. It means we have the word half and we have the word sided. So it can be, we call it slabified in English language. It can be divided into two words which have meaning. So for us to put a hyphen, each word you put here must have a meaning. That's the first one. The second one, it is used for compound words. For example, in most cases when you say staff room, it is supposed to be like that. This is a word of its own, it's a word of its own. But in most cases, people don't include this. They just say staff room, like that, which is okay. But the best one is to have what? A hyphen here, to tell us that the room belongs to the staff. These are two. That's one of them. But you will have something later. Now I have somebody. There are two hands. Your names are very difficult for me to, of the old age to pronounce. I see here Patra. Ask.
Teacher, I'm asked what about carbon dioxide?
Carbon, then dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. It doesn't have a hyphen, it just has space.
Yes.
And how come?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some people put it there, others are not put. Now I'm looking at the use of hyphen for you. And then after the lesson, you will also have time and look at some of these words, what they mean. Let me see that we have hyphen. Hyphen, good. They say a punctuation mark used between parts of a compound word or between the syllables of a word when the word is divided at the end of a line of a text. So the verb from it is to hyphenate. You can even say hyphenate the word. So it is used for the compound words. That's what we can look at. We can now continue. We said the ship was, sorry, the next one, another example. Can we have another example? We are saying
yes.
Manufacturers. 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 Manufacturers advertise their products in the newspapers. Advertise their products in the newspapers. In the newspapers, so that they will increase. So that they will increase. They will increase their sales. spelling of cells is on the blackboard. Don't write yours. Yes, can you try?
Manufacturers advertise their products in the newspapers in order to increase their sales.
Okay, thank you. Penina?
Manufacturers advertise their products in newspapers in order to increase their sales.
Thank you very much. Should we have the last one or the last two?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The modern
Yes.
The modern porter.
Pardon.
The modern porter. That one, the modern porter uses a special kind of oven. Uses a special kind of oven. Uses a special kind of oven so that he can bake the clay, so that he can bake the clay, so that he can bake the clay really, not very, but really hard. Really hard. Okay? Okay? Wendy?
The modern porter uses a special kind of oven in order to bake the clay really hard.
In order to bake the clay really hard. Thank you very much. I hope Penny heard that.
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. Now the last one. Many teachers use objects. We are saying many teachers use objects and pictures. So that many teachers use objects and pictures so that they can help. They can help the pupils to understand the lesson. Understand the lesson. You get it?
Teacher, many teachers use objects and pictures in order to help the pupils understand the lesson.
Why do you say pupils? Thank you very much. Wendy, that's the answer. Do you have another one?
Okay, the pupils.
Hmm?
No, teacher, it was the same.
It was the pen.
My answer, many teachers use. No. My answer was many teachers use objects and pictures in order to help the people to understand the lesson.
Good. I don't know whether you will understand. You will hear me very well here. I'm giving you the pronunciation of pupils. I hope you will get it here. Pupils. What are they saying?
Pupils. Pupils.
Eh? Eh, who is putting some comedy there?
Teacher, pardon?
Have you heard? It is not a pupil. It is a pupil.
No.
Is that very clear?
Pupils.
Pupils, okay?
Yes.
Well, any question is now? The tankolera. Any questions? Do we have any questions?
Not from me,
Angel,
teacher.
do you have any question for me?
No.
Now, when you are given sentences, we now go to examination. When you are given sentences in rewrites, especially when you go to senior 3, I don't know when you will be in senior 3, 225?
Teacher, please.
Now. Now, teacher, this year.
No, I'm going to try to reflect.
No, 2021.
2021.
Now. Right now. Now.
Okay, thank you very much. I love that. Now, I was saying,
I was saying,
this is what I was saying.
Online papers.
We are talking. We are saying, there are some people we shall remove from here, not so?
Thank you.
Okay, as time now goes on or by, and you are given a test, an exam, and they tell you, rewrite the following sentences. They will tell you, rewrite the following sentences. Using or as, read the following sentences as instructed. That's what we normally say. As instructed. We put a full stop. And we tell you, do not change the meaning. Do not change the meaning unless you are told to do so. Those are the instructions we give for the rewrites. Those ones there. And then somebody uses, he gives you a sentence and tells you this, the original sentence has so that, and tells you rewrite the sentence using in order that. In order that. Please, your mind should run very fast. to that time when we were learning about expressions of purpose straight away. And then when you use so that, you don't use in order that. But they mean the same. So they are not changing the meaning at all. It is the instruction that is instructing us to do this, but it is the same. They will give you in order that, and they tell you rewrite the same sentence using in order. When they tell us that, then you know we have either to put to, or if the sentence is in negative, not to. They are the same. If they say in order, and they don't give you to, don't go back to use that. When that has already been used in the mentioned sentence. Then they tell you, join the two, or they give you a sentence. And then there is a full stop, and they say, perhaps. Perhaps. Many of you who want to speak the American language, you will say, perhaps. Now, this one here, and they tell you, combine the two sentences together using in case. They mean the same. These ones mean the same. That's what it means. But I said, do not use in case as one word. There should be two words. They are here. If you write as one word, we cross. And then the other one is, make sure you maintain the tense of the original sentence. If the original sentence is in past tense, please use past tense. If it is in the present tense, use present tense. Don't change them at all. Should you change, you will be having the sentence wrong, because the original sentence has a different tense, and then this other one here, the duplicate, has a different tense. So they don't mean the same. You can only change where they tell you to change the meaning. That's when you say, unless you are told to do so. So when they tell you to change, the instruction will inform you. You'll get it from that one very well. So that is what we call the instruction now if we are in an examination room, or we are doing a test, a simple test. We are reconstructing the sentences. We are combining sentences together. So we must be very sharp and think about that. That's the reason we are teaching this. Otherwise, those people who don't have any chance of learning this, and they are given sentences of this nature, I bet you anything, very few will have to do what? To pass that. So how many of you have Practical English Book 2? Those ones who are on the platform here. If you have.
Me.
Who?
Tara.
Teacher.
Another one? Okay, who that?
Tara.
I see who? Winnie, thank you very much. You can still go ahead on page 68 and see for yourselves what we are talking about. Is that okay? You can read
yes, teacher.
During your free time. Now, I would like to know, in your
during the speakership, right? And I think it was also on the Bohut Nankadiwa who had filed to have
guys,
we're mute.
Did you look at relative clauses? Yes, Huda? I am asking a question.
No.
Had we started relative clauses in your formula?
No, teacher.
Oh.
Yes.
Next time,
No, teacher.
The next time we meet, we are going to look at relative clauses. Is that okay?
Teacher, what are those?
You shall learn on that day what a relative clause is.
And bear true allegiance
Okay.
Okay, teacher. Okay, teacher.
Yeah.
And
Nice Monday.
relative clauses are very many. Who is sending me away? What are you going to do? Is March ready? Relative clauses.
Somehow.
Teacher, I want to continue teaching. Guys, keep quiet.
Continue teaching.
I was saying relative clauses are about 5 of them. So you have to be very attentive from the very first up to the last.
Please mute.
As by law established.
Please,
and
you
that I
can
will,
mute.
to the best of
You
my
are
ability
mute.
and at all times when required, freely my counsel and
Thank you
advice
very much
to the
for
President
listening
of
to me.
Uganda and his
Is that very clear?
successors.
Yes.
Thank you, teacher,
Thank
for
you,
teaching.
teacher.
And nice lunch.
Affairs of the
Nice
Republic
lunch.
of Uganda.
Thank you,
Guys, the
teacher.
lesson has ended.
Nice
Thanks.
lunch.
Thank you, teacher.
Nice lunch.